Good morning, Derek. I see you. Give me 1 second to turn on. Okay. All right. Here we go. Good morning, lovely Lewis, and Catzilla and Derek, Mark Z, Billy D, Glassic. There's a paranoid goat somewhere in the house. Mr. Marmars, LT. Good morning, everybody. It's already heating up here in Detroit. How about you guys? Getting a little warm? Good morning. Let's see, what are we doing here? Okay, we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna, let's see. Then we're gonna do that. Okay. Take a few minutes and say hello to each other. 19 people, 9 likes. Does that mean Don Fike forgot to push the like button? Don, all you have to do is double tap the screen. Just double tap the screen. Good morning, Slim Criffy. Slim Cree 5. Good morning, Nerdy. Good morning. Good morning. It's gonna get hot there today, Billy D. Okay. Oh, a few more of you have double tapped your screen. Thank you. Don't hesitate. Anthony, the big man Thornton is here. Good morning. Hi, Vague. I see you. Good morning, everybody. Yes, sirree. Take a couple of minutes and say good morning to each other. Kitty cat, it is getting hot, isn't it? Meow. Get a little hot out there. Good morning to a Pearl. There's a pearl of a person here. Some people call her Deborah. Good morning. Isn't it cool to say good morning to everybody here? Good job, Lynette. Good morning. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes of good mornings to each other. This is one of my favorite times of the day when I see you guys pulling the folding chairs out for each other. Nerdy always helps set up the chairs, but Billy D and Derek Anderson usually open the hall. Yeah. Good morning. Who helped set up the chairs today? Who helped set up the chairs today? Good morning, Corey. Anybody want to admit they helped set up the chairs this morning? Or if there were chairs, they would have? Nerdy brought the gummies, huh, Derek? If there were chairs, would you have helped set them up this morning? Good morning. Okay, so far nobody wants to help be on chair detail. I get it. Don't worry about it. We'll set them up for you. Good morning. Oh, I get it. You're not on chair detail because you haven't gotten out of bed yet. Everybody, Sue and Lynette are gonna help. Nerdy, they were already set up. Yeah. How come the girls are admitting? How come the girls say it? Billy D got the chairs. Lynette and Sue. You guys are the best. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Lynette and Sue. Lynette and Sue. Both send me your address. Okay? Lynette and Sue. We're going to have some enigma to send Lynette and Sue. Those are the two people today. They made it super easy. They volunteered for chair duty. They were the first to put their hands up and say, I'll do the chairs today. Lynette, I need an address from you at the Detroit Mush Lab, all one word, at gmail.com. Okay? You're welcome, Lynette. Thank you for setting up the chairs. Sue Littlemeyer, same story. Okay? Lynette and Sue, you guys both volunteered. Next time Pops is looking for a volunteer, I might get some faster answers. Just thinking out loud over here. Lynette and Sue Littlemeyer. I expect addresses from you guys today sometime. Okay? They did a great job, you guys. We should all be grateful. Thank you. Okay? Corey, you know it was a good one. Meanwhile, somebody filled up Pops' cup for him. Thank you, Kim. Ice water instead of tea. It's too hot for tea right now. I'm pumping the ice water. Good morning, Hags, from Sun Valley. You're in Sun Valley, Hags? That sounds like hot. Why don't you just call it Hot Valley? Okay? No. Make sure you have plenty of water. Stay hydrated. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Oh, it's hot, Anthony. Okay? Good morning. Lynette and Sue. Great job, girls. Great job. You are not dolls. I don't call you dolls. No. There's one doll left on the team, and that's Streety. That's it. Streety. And the rest of you, we're just going to call it straight. Okay? Good morning, Pidgey Page, and Rodman. Good morning. Derek Anderson was a mutant. That's an interesting. I've never seen him as a mutant. Is that a new TV role that he has? I'm confused. Good morning. Nerdy, we're a bunch of wimps. I'm one. Count me in to the wimp club. I'm using an air conditioner. My last place had central air. This place doesn't. And it gets stifling. Kim, it does seem like a Friday to you? Oh, it's the mutant ape revert. I see. Billy D, I wimped out on hot. I'm wimpy. I'd rather be hot than cold, though. Is that true? No, maybe not. Nipper, no, AC. Oh, you better have a couple of fans going. I might, LT's wimpy. I might do, hot more than cold. I gotta think about that. It's easier to put a jacket on than to walk around naked. Am I right? It's easier. Right, no. You know my favorite kind of fans are the bladeless. I'm always finding the bladeless ones. Number one, I hate it when dust builds up on the blades. Give me 3 people that do not like dust on their fan blades. Especially because you know what's going to happen. That dust is going to get blown through the room. And we're always worried about FAE. Okay? Lynette's with me. Dust on fan blades. Blech. I hate that. And yet it's one of the hardest things to wipe down. I don't know why. It's the one thing you never dust, but they get dusty. Right? So I use a bladeless, good morning, Husk. I'm glad you guys all hate it too. I use a bladeless fan. One of those ones where the fan's down below in the housing, and then it pumps it out through the vents that are rotating. Yeah, I made the, not mistake, but maybe 2 years ago, I'm like, I'm going to get a really good one. So I had to get a Dyson. Okay? A Dyson. Do they overcharge for Dyson stuff? Is Dyson really as good as they say it is? I have a Dyson vacuum cleaner too. I went shopping for a vacuum cleaner about 3 years ago. Not with Miss Rose. That's a different vacuum story. I went shopping for a vacuum cleaner. And I got convinced to make sure that I got a Dyson. But why is a Dyson $800 and a Red Double's like $150? Shark is pretty good too, nerdy. Derek, I've really enjoyed it. It's actually been a great vacuum cleaner, I gotta admit. But I don't understand why I had to spend $800 on a vacuum cleaner. I could have got a Red Devil. Red Devil, come on. Those are good for vacuuming out your car. That's just about it. Good morning, Mellow. John Zook, I'm sorry to hear that. Glassic says Dyson, it's like Keurig. You know the coffee machine, Keurig? Love the idea. I love taking a pod, sticking it under there, boom. Coffee, tea, chocolate, hot chocolate. At $3 a pod though. Those pods aren't cheap. At the end of the day, you find out, wow, I'm practically at Starbucks in my kitchen. Those pods, 1 year. First one I got was first I got a Keurig. It was a gift from maybe my mom or something. And I got addicted to it. I got addicted to my Keurig machine because it was so easy. That Keurig machine didn't last 3 months. Didn't last 3 months. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get another one because I like it, but I'm going to get the top of the line Whippo Whammo Special. I'm getting the best one they make. I get that one. It lasted 3 months and 1 day. It literally lasted 1 day longer than their mid-level one. So I said, it's got to be me. I must be doing something. I'm already gone through 2 Keurig machines and we're only halfway through the year. We're only in June. So let me get a third one. This is what you call doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Shadow, nobody cares. Don't worry about it. So 3 Keurig machines in 1 year. You guys want to see my Keurig machine now? Who wants to give me 5 people that say, Pop, show us your new Keurig machine? Never they are. Those pods. Give me 5 people that want to see Pop's new Keurig machine. Derek does. Billy does. Cleany does. I only need 2 more. Okay? Show us the machine. There it is. Here's my new Keurig machine. Why couldn't you just boil water in the first place, Pops? $480 worth of Keurig machines. It's true. It sits on the stove, and that's all I do. That's all I need is boiling water. Pour on the top of my stuff. I quit. I quit the Keurig game. I didn't expect you guys to see my pan this morning. And that pan is specifically for boiling water. Okay? Yep. It's the only pot I have in the house right now. I haven't smoked pot in a little while. But anyways, keep it simple, Pops. Keep it simple. Oh, so Lynette and cowboy coffee eggs. I literally, that is what I use. I'm not even joking. Like, all the automatic machines are out of here. Everything, get out of here. I don't want to deal with you guys. I can boil water. I'm actually quite good at boiling water. I even have it down in my eye, scale eye. Like, I know exactly how much water to put in the pan to fill up 1 coffee cup. And I challenged myself. It's a little OCD. It's like, I don't want to have a lot of boiling water left in the pan. I want to make it just enough to where it fills the cup. Give me 1 second. Okay, Ruffy, you're back. All right. Good morning. Goodbye, boiling water. You'll be missed. Oh, that's a good one, Derek. Hey, when I first started boiling water, I had the same problem. But now I'm an expert at it. I really can boil water. So we already did our giveaways for today. Sue Littlemeyer and Lynette. And they both we're going to be sending them a pack of supplemental supplements because they volunteered today. And we can thank them for setting up all the chairs and getting the donuts arranged. Okay? Nippy, I can boil like a pro. Let's read an article together. Lately, I've been reading these articles in Tricycle Day newsletter, and I don't generally read the interview articles to us. Excuse me. But they're the last couple of people that they've interviewed have such amazing perspectives that just like line right up with where I think I'm going and where I am and where I'm going. And I like to share that with you guys. Is that okay with you guys? Say, Pops, share away one of those interviews that you read. Share it with us. Give me a couple of people. The rest of you guys just keep talking back and forth. Seriously. Shadow, you're in a mood this morning, aren't you? Shadow's in one of those moods. We can let him have his shadow time. Nerdy, we're gonna do it. This is an interview with Simon Ruffle. Simon Ruffle. Excuse me. The interview starts out. What compelled you to try to bridge Western psychiatry with Amazonian plant medicine rather than picking just one path? That's a good one, Derek. The answer. I started my career as a psychiatrist because I was completely fascinated with the human mind, especially things like psychosis. When I got into psychiatry, I absolutely loved most aspects of it. The patients, the staff, the work itself. But there was one really big issue. A lot of our treatments, especially the medications, didn't seem to work that well. Many psychiatrists have been talking about a crisis in psychiatry for a long time, and that really weighed on my mind. I got so concerned about it that I decided to take a break and go around the world to see if I might encounter other ways we could be approaching mental health. One of the places I traveled to was South America, where I met someone training in Shipibo shamanism. Remember Shipibo? We've covered them a couple of times. Native Amazonian tribe that uses ayahuasca in ceremonies. And they've actually, in some ways, commercialized it a little bit. They allow for outside of the tribe people to come there and have ayahuasca experiences. Pretty neat group, pretty neat tribe down there. We even discussed it was maybe a month ago, a doctor, a lady that was part of that group, and she practices Shipibo medicine and Western medicine. She became a doctor. So she integrates the two different types of medicines. So he met someone who was in training to be a Shipibo shaman. He basically said that a lot of the things you're struggling to treat in psychiatry, we often treat successfully through mostly spirits and plant medicine. After my own experience, I came out blown away by how incomparable the Shipibo worldview seemed to our approach with antidepressants and other psychiatric drugs. Is that right, Kim? The Shipibos are in Pueblo? Ayahuasca was an unusual and even controversial area of research at the time, at least in the UK. So we ended up just doing our first study without external funding or academic affiliations. None of it has really felt like a choice. As a scientist, when you come across something potentially significant, there is a responsibility to at least consider it, along with the ethical implications associated with the decision to research it. This should not be boring. I couldn't not explore it. I've been a student of shamanism with the Shipibo in parallel to doing this research over the last 10 years. And of course, I've had conversations with ayahuasca where I've asked, should I just fully commit to being a curandero over and above Western medicine? If we remember, a curandero is a shaman. My intuition always gets a no. You need to remain a psychiatrist. I strongly believe we can advance humanity and science by listening to other paradigms and connecting different worlds. I believe that. Question. What's been the most eye-opening from your research on ayahuasca so far? Are there any findings? Excuse me, that's interesting, Mark. What's been most eye-opening for your research so far? Are there any findings that surprised even you? Answer. The foundational research isn't particularly surprising. Certainly not to indigenous people. We've seen ayahuasca decrease depression and anxiety immediately after retreats, and interestingly, it decreases further 6 months later as people continue processing. We've seen an improvement in life satisfaction and less negative associations with memories, as well as changes in personality and evidence of feeling more connected to nature. I haven't done ayahuasca, but I've had both of those experiences as a result of microdosing. Changes in personality and evidence of feeling more connected with nature. You're talking about Pops's journey. The epigenetics study, though, was quite surprising to me. We found increased methylation in the sigma-1 gene associated with traumatic memory and neuroplasticity. They're going to be the bedrock of this concept is going to be, we're starting to find out, maybe scientifically studying this, is it true that ayahuasca can subtly change some of our DNA formation? Can you believe that? That is fascinating. Plant medicines that can actually bend and mold our DNA. I believe it. I believe it's in mushrooms as well. I thought this looks like ayahuasca could actually be changing DNA expression. But when I told my maestro Don Rano, he just said, yeah, of course it is. We've known that for thousands of years. We call it a cleaning ancestral lines. Apparently, I wasn't the only one in the jungle who was surprised. We're now doing larger studies with military veterans in collaboration with Heroic Hearts projects, conducting genome-wide analysis. We're also studying the gut microbiome for the first time with any psychiatry, with any psychedelic, which I couldn't believe hadn't been done before. This year, we're expanding our scope, looking at athletes with ayahuasca to treat traumatic brain injury. We have these professional football players that are dying in their 40s and their 50s. They're getting Parkinson's disease. They're getting all kinds of traumatic brain injuries that develop every time they get hit on a football field. It's like they just were in a crash. Can you imagine those over the years and the years and years of playing? Men 300 pounds running into each other. Maybe there's a place for plant medicines to help them with their brain injuries. We have an Indigenous advisory board where we develop research ideas and interpret results together. That's right, Anthony. Making sure we disseminate findings to communities in accessible ways. Question. When your Shipibo teachers talk about plant spirits and energetic healing, how do you translate those concepts to your skeptical medical colleagues? Metaphysics. Answer. Metaphysics is an excellent tool to build the bridge. For entities and spirits, and I include myself 10 years ago in this camp, metaphysics allows otherwise skeptical people to understand what indigenous groups are saying without immediately thinking it's nonsense. I definitely used to eye roll when anyone said, it's just the energy. The Shipibo hold what we in the West would call an animistic worldview, in which all things, plants, rivers, animals, even stones, are understood to have a consciousness of spirit. They speak of powerful godlike beings who guard different realms or dimensions, and of healing as something that occurs across the physical, energetic, and spiritual planes. There's a Shipibo concept called Nete Ibo, which can loosely be understood in Western terms as the idea that all things are alive, interconnected, and part of a greater unified awareness. Count me 5 years ago as the eye roller. Oh geez, here we go. New Age metaphysics guy. Pops totally believes this today. With every ounce, every fiber of my being, I believe today, everything is interconnected. We're also finding that out at the physics level. When I drink a glass of water, there's a molecule in here from Cleopatra. There could be a molecule on the end of my nose that used to be a dinosaur claw. You talk about interconnected. The same can apply when we take up a biological language. A good example is cleaning ancestral lines and epigenetics. If you say cleaning ancestral lines to scientists, they might dismiss it. Right, Kim? I agree. But if you describe it through epigenetics, which is how trauma passes down through generations and how you can reverse gene expression changes from stress and trauma, suddenly you have an explanation scientists can relate to. Unfortunately, there aren't that many examples like that yet, but I fully believe we'll get there. I love this stuff, you guys. It reminds me of why we do what we're doing. And we're not the only ones. Next question. Indigenous healers credit spirits, Ikaros, and dietas for healing, while Western science looks for neurobiological mechanisms. How do you personally hold both these different explanations in your mind? Answer. I used to wear two hats. I would have my Western psychiatric hat when I was in London, working in psychiatric hospitals. And when I was in the jungle, I would revert back to Shipibo. Otherwise, I felt like I'd go insane. But my approach has changed because I've become concerned about safety in the so-called psychedelic renaissance. My viewpoint now is, are spirits real? Do we remove energetic blocks? Can we communicate with plant spirits and ask them to heal patients? Today, I totally 100% believe that we can. But is ayahuasca also a serotonin agonist that induces neuroplasticity, and it changes the gut microbiome and downregulates the default mode network. Does it work? Also 100% true. Both worldviews work together. I don't see Western science and traditional medicine as clashing. Maybe thousands of years from now, if humanity lasts that long, science and spirituality will be the same. We'll be able to explain why spirits exist and what shamans mean by other dimensions. I see traditional medicine as science itself because it's based on trial and error over hundreds, if not thousands of years. We're just far from understanding the convergence right now. We have anecdotal evidence for thousands of years that these plant medicines work. We didn't need people in lab jackets to prove it. But we're getting the convergence now is not only are they proving it, but we're studying it and we're applying it now in the Western world. What dangers should we watch out for when trying to merge indigenous wisdom with modern medicine? How do we avoid the pitfalls? Answer: there are thousand ways to merge paradigms badly. Indigenous people are skeptical of the Western world because of what's happened historically. Extraction, genocide, slavery, colonial regimes. Every psychedelic organization claims to bridge worlds, but usually you get an indigenous person at a conference who says, watch out for the spirits. Everyone says thank you, and that's it, the bridging is done. It's much more difficult to actually do it. Ontological shock is huge. I get people emailing me constantly. They go on retreats wanting insights about their business or marriage, and they end up meeting entities like Ganesh. Then they return to their London banking job, wondering what just happened. They can't tell friends without seeming insane, or therapists without seeming delusional. That's the ontological shock. Ego inflation is another big issue, especially with ayahuasca. People drink a few times and they think they have unique insights, or that they're the chosen one. If you've been to Iquitos in Peru, it's a city with a lot of seeking. There are so many people looking for meaning who clearly have been there for a very long time. In indigenous communities, everyone understands this paradigm. If somebody begins to get a bit egotistical, everyone just checks them and brings them down a few pegs. But in the West, we live more individualistically, and most people don't understand these frameworks. So there can be real isolation. We talk about that here, don't we? It's easy to say you're bridging without actually doing it. Real bridging requires building trust, ongoing relationships, and taking concepts like spirits seriously, which essentially requires expanding the mind of science itself. A psychiatrist and a shaman, both. Been after it for, thank you, Christian. Been after it for over 10 years. And these are the people that give back because they start organizations and they start groups and they go to conferences and they teach and they share. Those are the people that we want to be. Am I right, Michael Patterson? The fruit of silence is tranquility. Do not, thank you, Michael, do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. In the serenity of a peaceful heart, the soul finds solace. Inner tranquility. There is nothing like it. The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater is his success, his influence, and his power for good. Can I say that one again? Are you guys listening to these tranquility quotes? The more tranquil a man becomes, or a woman, the greater is their success, their influence, and their power for good. We have to calm down. Running around at 100 miles an hour, we're not going to be doing anybody a lot of good. We want to calm down. We want to approach things from a tranquil perspective. We'll get more into that here in a minute. I am sustained by the tranquility of an upright and loyal heart. This is one of the hardest things for me to ever learn because I'm a 100-mile-an-hour guy. I either go 1 mile an hour or I go 100 miles an hour. That was my old life. That's my old trope. And I was okay with it because, 100 miles an hour, I'm faster than most people. It was in the slowing down that I began to see myself in a completely different vein. And again, I've told this story 1,000 times. I'll tell it 1,000 more. Growing mushrooms is what slowed my brain down. When I was approaching my mushrooms at 100 miles an hour, they gave me back a bunch of green stuff called tripe and contamination. They're not to be pushed. They're not to be sped along. And don't think they're not going pretty darn fast to begin with. I came from growing a little bit of weed. Man, you'd get 2 harvests a year. Maybe. A couple of harvests a year. 4 to 6 months from the time you plant a seed to the time you get a reward, a harvest. Mushrooms, I'm like, what? You can do this in 45 days? What? I loved it. I could go 100 miles an hour for 45 days, no problem. But it didn't work. The slower I got and the simpler I got. And again, at the very beginning, I'm going to show everybody, I'm going to come up with the best way and the smartest way, and I'm going to have the super substrate, and I experimented at it. I worked at it. And it was all to get me here. When I'm best is when I'm extremely patient. And as you guys can imagine from hearing a lot of my stories over the months and years here, patience isn't in my background. It's not in the background. Patience is a new virtue for Pops. Tranquility. I don't even want to be around people that ruin my tranquility. If you're gonna put a buzzkill on me, And I don't mean blowing a high. You're just a buzzkill. I avoid that now. There's people that'll work and help me maintain my tranquility. And then there's certain people, until they get the opportunity to grow and they're practicing and you're seeing fruit from their practice, I'll avoid them. It's not a judgment. It's not, oh, they're bad and I'm good, and it's nothing personal. It's just that energy doesn't work around me anymore. And I feel it more than ever. Does anybody else feel the same way? Give me someone else here that feels the same way. Don't you seek tranquil people now? Before I was seeking high energy, big, fast performers, successful, pushy salesmen. No. When I owned a couple of my businesses, I didn't want a tranquil salesman. A tranquil salesman might sell something once a month. I wanted a high energy guy. And all that so he can make money. How about this quote, Justin? Peace begins with a smile. Peace begins with a smile. It's hard to have like a mean, angry face and be expressing peace. Peace is the simplicity of heart, the serenity of mind, the tranquility of soul, and the bond of love. A couple more. An inability to stay quiet is one of the most conspicuous failings of mankind. We have some leaders like that. Inability to just stay quiet. If we don't have anything nice to say, what does mom say? What does your mom say about that? If you don't have anything nice to say, what has your mom told you? Why do our moms all tell us this one? That's right, Christian. Don't say anything at all. Don't say nothing. And that speaks to our first agreement of speak impeccably. If nothing bad's coming out, nothing bad's going in. One final one. Serenity. Serenity is the balance of mind, body, and spirit. I look at a guy like Dalai Lama, and I used to eye roll. Come on, these guys nuts. Come on, half a phony baloney in a pajamas with a shawl. I don't say that anymore. I really don't. I see so much strength through tranquility. That's really what I see. I see an inner glow that can't be faked. Content, that's good, Mike. It's an inner glow that cannot be faked. And you just want it. How did they get it? I'm going to tell you it was practice. I'm going to tell you it was a shift of perspective, a shift of values. I'm going to tell you they slowed down on the planet. I've never seen the Dalai Lama run a 100-yard sprint. Never seen it. Never seen him sharpen his elbows so you could get something on sale in line. Moving other people out of the way. Never seen that. I always see those guys like calmly approaching things and with a strength of word that's it just comes from spirit of patience. I find that extremely attractive. How about you guys? Atlas of the Heart, Brene Brown. Atlas of the Heart, Brene Brown. Tranquility. She writes, thank you, Kim. Tranquility may be my new favorite emotion. Why? Now remember, she's one of the foremost researchers and data gatherers on emotions of anyone in the world. And it's very clear that the lady has been involved in this, I'm going to call it a science, for decades. Knows other researchers, knows the place to gather the data. This isn't stuff that's being just pulled out of the thin air and somebody's making it up. There's years and years and years of literally study, intermodal, etc. study that comes up with these things that she says. Tranquility may be my new favorite emotion. We don't think of tranquility very much, do we? We think of empathy, we think of kindness, other emotions, we'll think of anger. But tranquility isn't usually on the tip of our tongue. And I argue now it's something that we should seek, search, and practice. It's life-changing. When Pops slowed down, he sped up. There's a scripture, we're not doing religion. But some of these scriptures, they're not logical. They don't make a bit of sense. The first will be last, and the last will be first. I spent my life trying to be first in everything that I was after. And I ended up pretty darn close to last. If I don't care about being first anymore, and I care about just being on my path at the speed that I'm going today, I'm living a life of first. I'm now living a life of first. Firsts for me. First time I've ever thought of that, experienced that, done that. Can you imagine being 67 years old and you're experiencing firsts for the first time? My new favorite emotion, why? Check out the research definition for tranquility. Tranquility is associated with the absence of demand and no pressure to do anything. Hey, I like that one. Nobody can pressure me right now. I'm a free agent. I'm just smoothing along on my magic carpet. It doesn't even go very fast. I think it goes around 18 miles an hour. Full speed. I'm cruising now. I'm not kidding. Tranquility is associated with the absence of demand. Let me ask you guys a question here. Do you experience me demanding anything of you? Generally speaking. Day after day after day, you listen to this talking head. I can't picture myself sitting here demanding things from anybody. I might advise, I might guide, I might give an opinion, but demands don't come from me. But they sure used to. I used to demand that you believe what I believe. Do it this way. Mr. Phillips thinks give me 5 people is demand. Could be. Maybe. Maybe. I'm usually just looking for feedback. No demands, no pressures, sign me up. Or should I say, take me away. I can't sit in front of people and demand something from them if I'm trying to live a tranquil life. The two don't go together. I stopped really close to it. I'm not there completely. But I'm working on stopping demanding things of myself. Usually when I demand something of myself, I don't go through with it. And now all of a sudden I have a strike against me. It's like, there you go. Not doing your best, having an expectation. Demands are expectations. What did Sue say? Invite people. No demands, no pressures. Tranquil environments provide many restorative elements that are needed to counter mental fatigue and attention depletion. Researchers Rochelle and Stephen Kaplan found that there are 4 essential elements of a restorative environment. A sense of getting away, a feeling of immersion, holding attention without effort, and compatibility with one's preferences. Additional research shows that there are auditory and visual components to tranquil environments. I wonder why we play this music. I didn't do it on purpose. But it helps a little, doesn't it? Just hear that, our theme song in the background. It helps. We're pretty tranquil here. As a group, we're really quite tranquil. One of the reasons is because we have that 2 rules, where we're not going to discuss politics and we're not going to discuss religion. Those don't tend towards tranquility, those discussions. So I avoid them. You're funny, Kim. Settings that induce high tranquility include fields and forests and large bodies of water. Thank you, Michael. Urban settings tend not to induce tranquility. Like I said, take me away. One thing to note, there's a difference between feeling content and feeling tranquil. With contentment, we often have the sense of having completed something. With tranquility, we relish the feeling of doing nothing. That's good. Contentment versus tranquility. We embark on a new chapter tomorrow. It's emotions again. Tomorrow it's going to be about places we go when we feel wronged. Who thinks one of those is tranquility? You know how advanced our practice needs to be? For when I feel wronged, I immediately say, let me go to tranquility. Let me go to do nothing. It's not, it takes practice. I've done it a couple of times and I was like, you know what? I don't need to reply to that email. Doing nothing. No reply needed. I'm going to go tranquil on this one. It feels so good after you haven't done it. Versus fly back, say something equally rotten, and push the send button. Anybody ever done that? Anybody ever replied with something equally as rotten and pushed the send button? And how long do you sit on that feeling like, oh geez, I can't believe I did that. Oh geez. That probably wasn't the best send. We've all done it. And there's many times it's like, especially when you calm down, you'll regret it. You guys are, God, I can't believe I did it again. Sue, me too. We practice now. It's hard to pull my string. Harder. You get a couple of people, randos on here, rando trolls, they come on. How's it going, Gramps? They immediately hit something about age. They say something, clearly not edifying. 3 years ago, go back and watch a couple of the teas. 3 years ago, I'd go, oh yeah, you son of a bug, you too. Now, if I'm even going to recognize them, it's just as humor. Thank you. Hello. Ha ha. We'll notice that very few of those people hang around. They're not getting what they want, which is a reaction. What they're getting, I shouldn't say getting, what they're giving, and they don't know it, they're giving opportunities for us to grow. Just when you think you can tell they want something, I can't give that to you. But thank you for giving me an opportunity to grow. And every time we approach something with tranquility, it feels better. It feels like a win. It feels like we have a secret that other people don't have. And I don't like secrets, but that's why we'll share them out loud here. We have superpowers that other people don't have, or they have them, they don't use them. Let's use our superpowers. This is one that we have. Tranquility starts with a facial expression. What do you think it is? My tranquility starts with the facial expression. As soon as the corners of my mouth start to go up to form a smile, I'm on my way. I'm possibly on my way to tranquility. That is correct, Justin. I'm probably well on my way towards tranquility. I can't have peace without a smile. I can't have tranquility without peace. Love you guys. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for giving me this space, this time, this opportunity for us to grow together. I don't mean this to be like too wah-wah, but boy, we're doing a good job. There's so many people here that show up every day and exude goodness and kindness to the people that they're involved with here. We are blessed beyond measure to have a platform and a place and a group. We are blessed beyond measure. So many people on the planet could use this. So many people on the planet could wake up in the morning and spend an hour practicing with people that are just like them. We would have a lot fewer fences, a lot fewer borders, a lot fewer flags. There wouldn't be a bomb factory. Imagine if there was a tranquility factory. There is. For Pops, it's called going fishing. I have a factory out there in the forest and in the woods. 4 things. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personal. Don't have expectations. And always do your best. Today, my best, I'm going to do it. I don't know what happened yesterday, and tomorrow doesn't matter. Today, I'm going to do my best. And when I have an opportunity to experience more tranquility, especially today, I've talked about it all morning, I'm going to do exactly that. Pops, peace, love. Let me scroll you guys out of here. Thanks again, and I mean that. This is my time of day, the last 3 or 4 minutes of every tea, where I experience an extreme amount of gratitude that I had all of these people here, all with similar goals, and all with a willingness to practice. Jesus Christ, in Australia, it was good to see you. Nurse, you too. Nipper Mama, it's a beautiful space. Kim, I'm grateful for you. Herbie, I'm grateful for you as well. Sue Littlemeyer, Cleany, and Captain Obvious, beyond measure. Nurse, it makes so much sense. HP, amen, brother. Derek Anderson, HP and Christian Guerrero, thank you. Michael Patterson, practice inner smile, showering gratitude to our organs. Well, boom, there's my guy. Cat Meow, Zilla and Herbie, and Jesus Christ and Kimberly, and Cleany and Taco, and Anthony Thornton. It is funny, huh? Shannon and John Zook and Vaggie, and Nurse and Justin Robinson and Lynette. Nippy and Laura, have a divine day. Rodmond, Captain Obvious, Derek Anderson, Billy D. Captain Obvious, I forgot to send you a copy of your tracking, but your package went out yesterday afternoon, right after I got the address from you. Billy D. Sue Littlemeyer, Christian Guerrero, Anthony, thank you. Jesus Christ and Sammy P. and Nippy, and Kimberly and Jesus and Michael Sean T. Patterson, Derek Anderson, Anthony T. Sue Littlemeyer, Donnie the Fikey Fikerston, Notorious and Herbie and Pidgey Page, Glassic is blasting, Jesus Christ and Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips, give me 5 people. I demand it. Kimberly, Sam, Captain Arthur G. Pops. Peace. Out.